Hey everyone, my name is Marco Antonio, and thank you for joining me on Marco Antonio Strategizes. I'm a first hand restaurant owner and operator and marketing strategist. And today, what I wanted to talk to you guys about is a little bit on cutting the fat off your menu. But before I start, please, everybody, if you like the videos that I've been making, please don't forget to like and subscribe down below. Um, Drop a comment. It lets YouTube know that you like my channel, that you like my content. It'll start pushing it out to more people who could use it, more people who could need it. We all have a friend or relative who is in the restaurant industry or owns and operates their own business, and they would like the experience from someone like me who has scaled their business from $100,000 a year to over $1 million a year using the bare essentials on what you really need in marketing. I am not a marketing agency or personnel that tries to sell you all these items that don't truly understand that immediately you need to generate revenue. That's what I'm all about, is making campaigns that are effective, that are going to make and bring you money. So I'm not here to get you the most likes on a post, or make I'm not here to get you to go viral. That doesn't always translate and correlate to sales. My business is all about My restaurant business has been about scaling and growing, and the way that I operate and how I conduct myself and my beliefs are scaling and growing business to make you make money, really, so you can provide and be there and feed your families and be there for your staff and personnel and truly really feel like you're gaining. So without further ado, let's cut some fat off the menu. And when I say that, what I really mean is, let's start getting rid of the things that are very difficult to produce and aren't really making a lot of money. So, one of the biggest examples that I'm always going to go at, and please, there are places that have specialities that are absolutely wonderful, but you have to assess your demographic to make sure that it's in an area where it's really truly going to be valued, and it's truly going to the correct market where we can start moving some numbers that are truly going to generate you revenue. When it comes to efficiency, one of the biggest things that I really like to talk about is, like I said, let's trim the fat off the menu. One of the greatest examples out there is Chipotle, and I use them a lot for my examples. I am a small Mexican restaurant. I own and operate a Mexican restaurant. So for me, that is the easiest way to relate. So please use this interpretation how it best suits and fits you. But for me and for this example, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go ahead and bring Chipotle up on my screen, and we are going to talk some business. And, all right, Chipotle, you're on deck. Chipotle. So here's some of the core essential items, if not the entire Chipotle menu. And the entire Chipotle menu is build it out. You'll find all the commonalities on rice. They give you two different types of rice, probably brown rice and white rice. It's been a while since I've been there. You can get that wrapped in a burrito. You can get it put into a bowl. Then they make a lifestyle bowl, which is, I think, no rice and all lettuce. Me, obviously, I'm not a all lifestyle bowl kind of guy. I like my burritos. Um, we got salads and tacos. So by understanding this, I can see that they'll just take the vessel on how the food is going to be held or transported. And it's either going to go in a bowl, it's either wrapped in a burrito, or it's going to go on smaller tortillas and make a taco. I strongly suspect, because of the wait time that it takes, and they want to optimize the flow of their in-house processing on how they process their orders. I'm gonna say that's why they make quesadillas for digital only and not in-house on demand. That's my appearance and what I'm taking on it, because it takes away from the efficiency of their line workflow. They're very streamlined. They use a steam table. I'm not saying anything bad about the ingredients. The ingredients are great, but the they're literally building a burrito a couple different ways and giving it to you. And Chipotle is worth billions of dollars. So this is a great example on the illusions of options, and you don't really necessarily have to go all out and have a crazy menu, because the key is to be able to put people in there, pump out a great product, and turn it out as fast as possible, because people only have so much patience. But on the other page, I found another restaurant. And again, I'm not knocking it. I actually just recently tried this restaurant myself, and it was very good. But there's some things that as a restaurant owner and operator, I've done that they don't do. And one thing that I would say is, I'm not going to knock them because the food is great. But as an example, chicharrones with pico. How often are people really ordering these chicharrones or fried pork skins or pork rinds? Um, if we're looking at crispy beef empanadas, are they making the dough from scratch, stuffing it, and then deep frying it? That's another workflow process. And this just takes more time, energy, and resources. Unlike Chipotle, it's this almost the same workflow when you're starting out at your stations. And are you going to start out with a tortilla? Are you going to start out with a bowl? Are you going to start building out with a salad? Are you going to start building it out with a small tortilla to make tacos, big tortilla for burritos, or just a bowl? And then you're going to move on down the line, and they're going to ask you, do you want rice? What kind of protein do you want? What kind of toppings do you want? Do you want corn salsa? Do you want salsa verde? Do you want to add chips? No, do you want to add guac and cheese for an additional price? There is a flow in processing this Chipotle menu versus this menu, which is much more larger and more versatile. Chilaquiles, you need to do that in a skillet. Um, they have a breakfast bowl. So are they using diced potatoes? If they are dicing their own potatoes, how can those potatoes be repurposed, and how are they using them in other dishes, so they don't have just this one item dedicated, this one ingredient dedicated to this one menu item, which is not efficient in my sight, because then they have to stay on top of their inventory for potatoes, depending on how much of this Locha's breakfast bowl, how many they're moving. Maybe they're buying a small bag of 10-pound potatoes versus a 50-pound bag. And so they're paying a little bit more for potatoes, but the margins are still great. But I don't see any other places where they are really maximizing that ingredient. Me personally, if I was gonna have a burrito bowl with potatoes in it, I would find 5 to 7 different other menu items where I can incorporate the potatoes into this. How many other menu items do they have bacon on there? This sounds like a really great item. My cause and concern for this, though, is what is the likelihood that this ingredient is locked into this item, and how often is this item not available? Because people don't like that customers don't like when the item is not available. So, and how much waste is there by featuring this item? How often are potatoes going bad? Is it worth the cost because of to keep this on your menu? So that's, is it worth the cost to keep this item on your menu? How often they have a tilapia fillet? Again, how often is this item? What is the versatility of this item? And are they buying just a little bit of tilapia at a time just to keep it on this menu for these people who order this? So, how often is this tilapia plate being sold? Do they have a huge walk in freezer where it doesn't matter, where they have storage space like that? Me personally, I would not want to allocate resources to prepare, if they're buying tilapia whole and filleting it themselves in house. That is time and energy and resources. So, do I want to pay somebody to be on the line at Chipotle, being efficient, pumping out money for me? Or do I want to pay them to prepare this tilapia fillet? We're going to fillet it, they're going to clean the fish, do the whole works, prep the fish, and then freeze it, And it's going to be sitting in that freezer. We cut up 10 orders, and we're probably going to sell those 10 orders over the next 2 months, even 1 month. For an item that I'm only selling 10 items a month, it's not worth it for me to have on the menu 30 days and you sell 10 items. You're selling that item once every 3 days. That does not justify the time and resources and energy that I put into this item, allocating the item, finding it whenever it's out of stocks in one place and going to get it in another, and the time and energy that I pay personnel to prepare it, when our resources and time can be better spent elsewhere. Let me see. Also, optimization. Also, again, assess your demographic. Does your demographic know what a huarache is? Most people don't. I'm Mexican. I barely know what a huarache is. I like I just agree as I go, and I tell people like, yeah, that sounds good. But you know what? Really, I don't know what that is. I just say it because it's like I feel like I should know what it is. Obviously, there's the classics: quesadillas, quesadilla. All those are great classics, and I would say those are really strong items to have on there. Oh, combinations. Oh, this is like one of those things that I've always felt so guilty of as a Mexican restaurant. You don't need to give every single variation its own combo. If we're looking at number five, for example, tamale, cheese enchilada, small quesadilla, tamale, bean tostada, and taco. Well, where's your taco, quesadilla, and enchilada combo? They got a taco, enchilada, chile relleno combo. So, me, when I see things like this, I just get overwhelmed with the like, how many variations do you need to introduce to do this? I would rather do a build your own combo. That's less is more sometimes. This is a lot to remember for your staff because then they're gonna have to go look up the menu. What's the number three combo? What's the number five combo? Like this is a nightmare. I've seen it before, and yeah. Oh, earlier I was talking a little BS on where else are potatoes used. Chuleta de puerco con papas, pork chops with potato. That sounds good, and I'm very happy to see that they're utilizing the potatoes from the breakfast bowl. I hope it's the same potatoes that they're using for this pork chops with potato. Um, bistec ranchero, short ribs on the bone with marinated in adobo made with Mexican dried chilies. That sounds great, but where are you using those short ribs on, and on what other items? That's where you really need to start trimming down. Like this is a big menu. And if you're going to be running a restaurant, you really less is more. Less is more, my friend. Lochas burrito, burrito bañado. I mean, can your demographic pronounce that? Burrito bañado. So I'm gonna leave that one to you guys. Albondiga soup. This is weekend specials only. I would look at the weekend specials, and it's great to carry variety for your menu, change things up, because when people miss it and they were fond of it, they'll want to gravitate to that more, and it gives them another reason to show up on a different day. So I like this weekend menu, but again, how much time and energy are they allocating for making these albondigas, which are normally hand rolled? They're rolled by hand. They have to make a mix. Is it going to sell out or not? Menudo, tripe soup. How often are people asking for tripe soup? That's like the intestine of a cow, and people make soup out of it. So, do you have the market that enjoys that? And on top of that, is that market aware that you're serving this on the weekends only? So that's another one. Other than that, you got your beverages, Modelo's, it's all good. So let me get into it real quick with you guys is don't be shy to trim the fat off of your menu. You really need to do this. You need to do this for yourself. You need to do this for your family. You need to do this for your staff. It will make your life easier and you'll be able to function and move with your workflows significantly and more efficiently. The faster we can turn over these transactions, the much more return we can expect for how much our invest heck out of jalapeno poppers, and they spend 3 hours a month preparing tilapia. Those 3 hours, I could have had them do more prep work on jalapeno poppers. So ultimately, you're paying for the labor costs, you're paying for the staff, you're paying for ingredients. You're losing money if this item is not moving and selling fast enough. That is money just sitting on the shelf for the ingredients that you purchased. You are hiring more people because you think you have a demand, but really you haven't mastered the smoothness and the efficiency of your workflow for your kitchen. So that's what I truly want everybody. If they got anything out of this video today, please understand that. That's what's helped me grow. And I like to use Chipotle as an example because they're a $1 billion corporation. They didn't get that way by being dumb and making stupid moves. Every move they've done has been extremely well thought out, several steps in advance. So, as small businesses, we need to see what's working for these large businesses and large corporations and adapt with it as well and take a page out of their book. I am Marco Antonio. I would greatly appreciate if you like this video, comment, and let me know what you'd like, what you would like to see more of, or if you could also please join my free community group. And I will be doing live Q&As. And just one last tidbit out there for all of you guys to know, I do work with Toast as an affiliate. And if you need any discounts on your hardware, I can get you up to 50, 60% off in some cases. Just go ahead and DM me in my free school group. I'd like to connect with you and we can go from there. Other than that, I am Marco Antonio. Thank you for joining me on Marco Antonio Strategizes. And until next time,